Hello and welcome to another video. So today we are checking out a DragonCraft deck for Unlimited. This is a aggro-esque dragon deck, I would say. I definitely will pull it down as aggro dragon, using the pretty standard package for aggro dragon, but adding the new Neptune since it's such a great storm card. And overall just focusing on, of course, generating boards, generating followers, and dealing as much damage as you can before using some of your bigger cards to just swing extra damage in for lethal. So let's get right into it and check it out. So hopefully these videos will stand up to the test of time, but I'm not sure if there will be a nerf this month or not. By the time these videos come out, it'll be right around that nerf period of time. I'm recording these again in a little bit in advance, so I do apologize if a nerf has taken place within this video and the next few that will probably come out. But I'm trying to make sure I use decks that most likely won't be hit by nerfs or won't be impacted too much, and the metagame shouldn't shift too badly. So going up against Portal, not too bad. It's a pretty decent start, and we did end up getting Goblin in the end for turn 1, which is definitely the ideal situation when you got any kind of unlimited deck these days. A good Goblin turn 1 is not the easiest thing to counter, although with Portal's second play, that's definitely not what I wanted to see. So Dark Dragoon, probably going to be our linchpin for this setup. Analyzing Artifact and a standard trade, not a lot going on, which is actually a good thing. Don't mind that at all. So I just go for the 2/3 so I can generate a hand spur and take out the weaker follower that I'm not too worried about. So hopefully they won't get a lot they can use, and that's not too bad, to be honest. So using Full Metal Dragoon, plus its Evo of course, we generate more value, getting the, of course, 2/2 follower out of it. We can also use Disdain, again getting more value, and remove at least 3 out of the 4 cards left on board, probably just leaving up that 2/1 there. Could have probably left up the 1/2, but the 1/1 instead of the 2/1, but that would have been fine either way. Now they are going for, of course, the not so great play to remove our entire board. The Icarus is, of course, triggering the resolve for the Resonance. And we need a really good turn 5 play. Fortunately for us, Omen of Disdain is perfect. While leaving it with just 1 health, at least it'll get 3 damage in and remove both followers from the board. So I can't go too wrong with that. And then we need a good setup for Dragon Forte on turn 7, and we should be able to start dealing some really good damage. Because I'm hoping at that point Portal won't have a great way to get rid of Dark Dragoon Forte, so that'll definitely be my hope. It looks like there's probably going to be another turn where we go for Disdain, maybe? Yep, especially since we got the Disdainful Rending, so that's going to be good. We can actually take out the entire board and again deal another 3 damage while leaving up another follower, so can't go wrong. And this should be a good setup for our Evo Dark Dragon Forte, and then potentially into a Neptune for the turn after, which will put us very close to lethal, especially since we have Dragon's Handspur. It's a little bit of a long setup, but it would be enough to probably close this game if Dragoon Forte is destroyed. If it's not, it'll just be a 2-turn attack from Dragoon Forte to win this, so it's really going to come down to this turn. So they're only left up with these 2 followers, not really either of which I'm too worried about. And we shouldn't expect any major storm cards. I mean, Maisha is a potential, but without an Evo point, that's not really a problem. So we don't actually need to worry about it. And if they can't remove this 7/3, we win the game. And that's going to be it. Next up, we have a Dragon versus a RuneCraft. Another pretty common matchup. Not a great hand. Phoenix Rider is okay, but the Doting Dragon and Dragon Summoner, definitely the better options for the early game. Dark Dragoon Forte, a little bit better than Rider at the moment, I would say, for what we want to use. Especially going up against Rune, where I'm hoping not to get dragged into a long game, but it's very, very possible. Especially if they are doing a really good spell boost, and having Glow on turn 2 there is definitely what they wanted. So I decided to go for the Dragon Summoner play. Fortunately, Omen is actually really nice. Also, since we are going second, we can go for a really nice full metal. Plus, probably Doting combo, that'll fill our board nicely. I decided to set up Doting a little early, just in case. I've already got the doubled full metal anyway, so I can potentially play those both together if I want. Use them that way. Plus, the odds of them taking out the 1-3 were reasonably low in that turn, since they can't Evo yet. So, a good chance to go for our full metal Dragoon, generating 2 followers thanks to both the Doting and the Evo, plus getting the extra stats. And it lets us take out the entire board and go face. So, we're now forcing them to deal with this board on turn 5. They have done some good spell boosting, so I expect to see something here. Chaos Wielder, fairly decent, but burning a card definitely has got to hurt, playing as Rune. I always hated burning cards. And obviously that was enough to push him over the edge without anything to actually deal with this board. So I found this deck to be fairly decent, not quite as good as Blood as far as aggro goes, but still reasonably good enough. It's definitely a deck I would give a go if you've got the cards to do so, as it's definitely worth playing. It's quite fun at least. That's something I always like to see. Plus if you've got some Dragon dailies, definitely worth giving a go. Unlimited has a lot of nice variations, which is great as far as decks go at the moment. And it's always a nice time compared to the current rotation format, which obviously is seeing a majority of Forest and, I would say Forest, Shadow and Haven sticking around the most, with a interspliced of some Rune and Dragon floating around as well in rotation, but not quite as prevalent, at least in my experience. So if you guys did enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe, you'll find deck list in the description below. Until next time guys, see ya.